Okay, welcome to a Wednesday evening edition of a coffee rant, even though it's really like a water rant. It's kind of hot here in Cleveland. So today I want to talk about anger, and it's going to be a very small little talk, it's just based on some of my experiences with how people feel about anger and different kinds of anger I've experienced, and people's reaction to anger. And before I go any further, there was a presentation in Philadelphia back in 2019 at a conference called Anarchadelphia. I got to see a live presentation called The Sacred Gift of Anger by Mark Passio. 2 hours long, very in depth, excellent presentation. Although I don't think you're going to ever see a presentation he does that isn't top notch. But this is going to be more from my point of view, but I am going to have a link to that presentation down in the comments below or description below. So what I've experienced as far as anger is concerned is, bear in mind with family and friends, loved ones, they don't want to see you angry. So they often will invalidate how you feel because they just don't want you to be angry. Parents are famous for this, right? So there's that type of, anger invalidation. Then there's the other kind where someone does something, they initiate an action that gets an anger response from you. And quite often, like in my old line of work as an order follower, as well as in my personal life, it seems as if your reaction or response, if it has anger, if you get angry, your response or your reaction gets judged more harshly than the action that initiated you to get mad, okay? So you're like, well, why is this phenomenon? Why don't they want us to ever get angry? And I think it's because in the New Age movement, things get thrown around kind of like this. This is important. Let's go here. It's statements like this: "He who angers you controls you." So of course we say to ourselves, we can't let anyone control us, so we must not ever get angry. And this goes back to schools. It goes back to schools right now where zero violence policy. So it doesn't matter if someone else started the fight, you're involved in it, you get suspended too. It creates a state of learned helplessness. Okay. And what it's creating in society today is a bunch of frustrated, angry people. Okay. Who will do something that John Bradshaw, who's an author of Healing the Shame That Binds You, referred to as gunny bagging, which is you let a bunch of shit build up for a real long time, and somebody does something really minor, and you let it all out on that person, right? There's that kind of anger. That's not good anger. Okay, uh, that's bad anger. You're not justified to do something like that, right? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about he who angers you conquers you, and it's statements like this that's used by the New Age. That is only partially true. There's nuances involved. So he who angers you conquers you, sure. If you're talking about a narcissist who wants to look like the victim in a not really all that important or threatening environment, and this is just somebody that you need to observe and not absorb and just get away from, okay? In that kind of sense, and it's usually a friend or family member, that type of anger is uh, they're trying to manipulate you into getting angry. So in that type of sense, a saying like this would apply. He who angers you conquers you. However, I would also add, with what's going on in the world today, he who is unable to get angry will be a slave. So don't get it twisted. They're trying to create tranquils. There's a war on testosterone. We don't have the emotion of anger, I guess. We're not allowed to get mad at stuff. They're just frightened of anger. Well, anger is a valid emotion. And usually anger when conscious, when it's a conscious response, it can drive you to very focused action, which we'll talk about in a second. But there's also that kind of anger that is sometimes, just frivolous anger. And frivolous anger, the word frivolous comes from the Latin frivolus, meaning empty, uh, trivial, worthless, diminutive, crumble, so clearly insufficient as to need no argument to show its weakness. So frivolous anger is anger that is just somebody who's like getting angry at a football game. Like we'll even say preseason. It's just, or they're always angry. There's people that I know who use anger as a cover for shame. In my past, I've done this once or twice. Anger is a more powerful emotion than shame. The only thing that vibrates lower than shame is death. So some people will cover up shame with anger because it's a more powerful feeling emotion. Other people are completely, they have this adrenaline rush with the anger that they get addicted to. So you could become addicted to that adrenal rush from the anger. Hit that, but these types of angers are often frivolous kind of angers. And the kind of anger that I'm talking about is, well, there's the conscious kind where you actually take time, formulate a response, and you get angry consciously on purpose. And then you can usually cut it off. It's as simple as that. Drill instructors are good at this. Be careful because people who are manipulators are good at this. But most often than not, sometimes anger is a normal emotional reaction. Okay, a normal emotional reaction to some type of stimulus, physical or verbal assault on you that you get angry about. Maybe you were insulted. Maybe you were threatened in some kind of way. But anger is allowed. Maybe a family member is threatened in some kind of way. Maybe you see a real injustice. I'm not talking about the woke crowd who are trying to take up other causes because they don't have anything to be upset about themselves, in my opinion. And they're being mind controlled by society to do exactly that. So I'm talking about that reactionary anger. But you could actually do it if you're balanced. You can balance that reactionary anger. It can come from an emotional stimulus in your own head as you're talking. I'm going to break here and show a couple of quick sequences from other coffee rants where I have gotten pissed myself, but you'll see that I quickly bring it right back down. And I didn't purposely do these things. I actually got mad as I was talking, but then I was able to bring it back down because I'm a balanced person. I'm going to take a break here for a second and show you these videos real quick. Just like they don't have a right to tell me I can't defend myself. No cop's ever going to be there when you need them to be there to defend you from some bad person, period. I've only been awake for fucking 10 minutes and I'm already doing this shit. Anyway, you're not bad people. I know why many of you took the oath. We took the oath to protect and serve. Not for slavery. We did not take that oath to enforce or to help create and keep about the slavery that's going on in this world. We took that fucking oath to protect and serve. What are we protecting and serving? Oh, I'm getting pissed. I'm not even through one cup of coffee yet either. This is crazy. But anyway. All right, so now we're back. So as you can see, I didn't even know I was getting angry, but I brought it back down. So if you're a balanced person, you can do that. Okay, if you're in control of yourself. But it is normal to have an emotional response of anger. And they're trying to get rid of that response in men. They don't want us to fight. There's a war on testosterone. God forbid we get angry about anything. And I think with some of the stuff that's going on today, anger is the right response. We need to have anger because anger is what's going to drive us to take action. And I was having a conversation with a pretty young brown girl the other day who I absolutely adore. And someone's going to say, well, why does brown matter? Yeah, don't worry about it. She's failing. And I was trying to convince her. And she's still halfway in the matrix. She's starting to wake up a little bit to what's going on. She's at least growing on food and stuff. She's saying, anyway, she does not like anger. She doesn't like my anger. And I had to explain to her that anger is a valid emotion that men are allowed to have, and women have it too. Next time you get angry about something, have some self-inquiry and ask yourself, is it frivolous anger? Is it righteous anger? Righteous anger will drive us to right action. So I gave her an analogy like this, and she understood it. And it was as simple as this. Say somebody came up to you and sucker punched you right in the face. And you hit the ground, you're bleeding, you're dazed, there's a brick, you pick up a brick and hit him in the fucking head, and next thing you know, they're in a coma or they die. Your reaction and your anger shouldn't be judged more harshly than the action that caused it. And that's an extreme case. But we've got set up in society this thing where it's weird. Like if you get mad at somebody else for doing something to you, your anger gets judged more harshly than the person who did something to you. And they're using that against us. I mean, we're literally living in fucking upside down with some of this stuff because we need to get angry. And, I'm into comic books. I'm into superheroes. I'm into these, things. And I think we all have to become our own hero. There's no external hero that's going to come and save all of us. We all have to be a hero. And we all have to get angry. We all have to let that righteous anger out, to take action, to unite, to come together in person. Sacred masculine and sacred feminine. Because I'm not forgetting about you ladies out there. You have a lot of influence over men. And the ones who, have that sacred feminine balance, they understand this. Anger is definitely needed. This is the kind of shit that was going on during the first pandemic. Nurses, doctors, dancing in hospitals, yet it was a pandemic. We have to ask ourselves rhetorical questions. Get mad after you ask yourself the questions. Why did they put that out there like that? Why are they, saying that it was a virus with a 99.6 or 99.5 survival rate, and all this information that they originally put out, how masks were, don't work, didn't work. They were wrong about this. They were wrong about that. All this stuff from the lockdowns they were wrong about. And now they're projecting another more brutal virus in 2024, another election year. Gee, I wonder what's going to happen with that. So I wrote an article about that. It'll probably be in the Liberator. I also have it on my website, which is spiritualanarchist93.com. Read the article. I highly suggest reading the article. It might be a little enlightening on what the next part of their psyop is. But this kind of shit, there was no pandemic. This should get you angry. They're clowning on us. Literally, they're clowning on us. Okay? Some people think this guy's a hero. I'm kind of undecided on him, but brain implants firm says U.S. approves human tests. For the brain chips that are the company that he owns, Neuralink. Gee, I wonder how that could be abused. all the 5G towers, all the low-flying satellites that he sends up, and brain chips. Okay. Hey, man, I can't wait to get mine. It's hot here, and I worked out hard today, so I have to keep drinking water. It's clowning. This guy can very well be controlled opposition. You should start asking questions, and you should start getting angry. Anti-vax conspiracy theorist, always hyphenated, conspiracy theorist, warned of a false flag alien invasion just days before his death. Yeah, I think he died of natural causes because when you're assassinated naturally, you're gonna die. So if you read William Cooper's book, they talk about a fake alien invasion, extraterrestrial invasion. Also talk about a real one later on. So who knows? Oh, and the second coming of Jesus. Just wait. Us conspiracy theorists are going to be perfectly normal when all this stuff starts to happen. And a lot of people who've called us conspiracy theorists who are trying to help are going to be really, really stressed about this. And I'm not going to be unstressed. I wish I was wrong about everything. I'm going to be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I haven't been so far the last 3 years. And finally, something that always pisses me off whenever I see anything about our supposed rulers. Biden announces historic plan to reduce Western states' water supply. What can go wrong with that? What could possibly go wrong with that? Let's just keep staying, let's meditate, let's form our mudras, and not let nothing bother us, and not be mad because we don't want them to control us. If we get mad, they'll control us. No, I think it's time to start fucking getting mad. He who can't get mad is a slave. Okay? Don't let this other mind control bullshit, start seeping in. There's still a way to do this nicely. There's still a way to do it consciously. There's still a way to pull people to our side, especially our women. Many women do not want male anger whatsoever. They fear it. And there's historical reasons for that. Okay? My mother was abused. So I am for women. I get what they could be afraid of. But ladies, I got to tell you, the enemy that is at the gate, that'll be here in a few years, maybe a couple, they're going to be real toxically masculine. Okay? Just be ready. So I hope you are as tough as you think you are. If you're one of those ones who don't want any emotions from men, okay? God forbid, testosterone anger issues. Okay? If it's frivolous, that's one thing. But if it's righteous, you should feed it. You should be there to help, okay, and support, and keep balanced. Okay. Anyway, to our all the governments of the world, or anybody who's following orders to enslave all of humanity yet again. It's no secret that I do study the tarot, and I have a tarot card that I pulled just to give a reading to the government. And if you look at this tarot card, you're going to see that it's very rich with symbolism. And this was their tarot card. So as you can see, there's a happy man and a woman and a happy dog. And this is my message to all them cowards. So anyway, until I make my next little rant or whatever, I just wanted to put something else out there. And until the next time I decide to jump on here, because I'm very erratic about it, but I am doing it every week for now, in between prepping and other things. Next time I want to talk probably about how to stay safe during police encounters, and give like the top 5 things you can do to stay safe during police encounters. That's probably going to be a good one. It's something I really know about that a lot. So stay tuned for that. But anyways, I wanted to end this with something esoteric and occulted and beginners type stuff with the tarot, and there you go. There's a very rich symbolistic card for anybody who would rule other human beings. And with that, I would like to say namaste and stay safe.